And welcome to this edition of the Native News Update on this Wednesday, December 19th. I am the host for today's program, Paul Demain, and many of the stories we read here can also be found at our website, IndianCountryTV.com, and here are some of those news stories for the day. First Nations people and their supporters are uniting under the banner Idle No More against the Canadian federal government's changes to legislation, which will affect treaties and traditionally used lands with hunger strikes, roadblocks, and other protests. And this Friday, December 21st, a grassroots protest led and expected to attract thousands of Aboriginal people to a ceremony at Victoria Island, who will then march in solidarity onto Parliament Hill in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. Idle No More Ottawa will feature voices from many nations and political stripes in a speakers rally that will last from noon until dusk. Several similar protests will be held across Canada and the United States as a show of solidarity as well. For more information on this ceremony, march and speakers timeline and contact information, you can go to idlenomore1.blogspot.com, where you can find various Facebook page links for events around the world. Idle No More began with four Native women, Nina Wilson, Sheila McLean, Sylvia McAdam, and Jessica Gordon, who discussed the possibility on social media about the impacts of legislation on Canadian First Nations. Roscoe Pond reports that the official website of the National Cowboy and Western Heritage Museum recently announced that 2013 Hall of Fame inductees will include Wes Studi on the list, being rewarded for his work as a 2013 inductee into their Hall of Fame on April 19th. During the presentation of the Wrangler Awards. During the Christmas season and starting on December 18th, you can buy the DVD or Blu-ray discs of the AMC Western TV series Hell on Wheels. You can also buy instant video episodes over at Amazon. The first and second TV seasons are available, and Native American actor Wes Studi appears in season 1. He portrays the character of Chief Many Horses. It is one of the many roles Studi has portrayed in numerous westerns on film and TV throughout his 20 years of acting, including Avatar, Comanche Moon, Bury My Heart at Wounded Knee, and Dances with Wolves, amongst many, many others. Senator Daniel Inouye, a Hawaiian Democrat, passed away on Monday, December 17th at age 88 from respiratory complications. The World War II hero represented the Aloha State in Congress since it achieved statehood in 1959, and upon his death, he was the second longest-serving senator in history and the chamber's president pro temp. Inouye's casket will arrive at 10 a.m. on December 20th at the Capitol's Rotunda, with a public visitation held from 11:30 a.m. until 8 p.m. that evening, according to Inouye's office. Inouye will then be flown to Honolulu, where a final memorial service will be held on Sunday, December 23rd at the National Memorial Cemetery of the Pacific. Only about 30 people have laid in state in the Rotunda, including Presidents Abraham Lincoln, John F. Kennedy, Lyndon B. Johnson, and Ronald Reagan. Others included longtime FBI Director J. Edgar Hoover and Senate Minority Leader Everett Dirksen. The last person to lie in state was President Gerald Ford upon his death in 2007. The National Indian Gaming Association issued a press release, along with many other Indian organizations, saying that Senator Inouye was a champion for Indian sovereignty, and while he was not a supporter of gaming, he respected the right of Indian nations as sovereigns to choose gaming to provide for the communities, and would often tell Native representatives, never give up your sovereignty. It is the foundation for your survival. Also, the National American Indian Housing Council chairwoman Cheryl Causley released the following statement about the passing of Wayne Ducheneaux, who passed away as well on December 17th in South Dakota. He was 76. The Indian community was saddened by the loss of Wayne Ducheneaux, a strong warrior who was a lifetime advocate and a dear friend to many professionals in Indian housing. Wayne exemplified the true definition of a leader by being a strong, heartfelt, and passionate man. He commanded a great respect and encouraged community members and his fellow Indian leaders to do more to help Native people. He will be forever remembered for his powerful words, legendary black hat and leather vest, and most of all, his kind heart. Mr. Ducheneaux served 8 years as the tribal chairman of the Cheyenne River Sioux tribe. He was also the president of the National Congress of American Indians and a board president for the Housing Council's sister organization, Amerind Risk Management Corporation. Justin Jourdain is among the few people who might just be able to understand how students in Newtown, Connecticut feel today. Jourdain, a 2008 graduate of Red Lake High School, was in the school on March 21, 2005 when 16-year-old Jeff Weiss shot and killed 5 students, a teacher, and a security guard before killing himself. Jourdain is now leading 10 Red Lake graduates in a 3-vehicle caravan to Newtown, Connecticut to offer comfort to the grieving community in the wake of last week's tragic shooting at Sandy Hook Elementary School that killed 26 people, including 20 young children. First National Bank of Bemidji, Minnesota said it is accepting donations toward those travel expenses. And the kids from Sandy Hook in Connecticut, while they will be attending a different school building, the national and Connecticut PTAs want them to feel the love and support from around the nation when they arrive there. So any school anywhere can participate in their snowflake drive and send one-of-a-kind paper snowflakes to line the school halls. This is an activity for the end of the semester for many students to express their solidarity with the community, or even a way to open the new year when students return. The snowflakes aren't due to Sandy Hook until January 12, 2013, and you can find more information and send the flakes to Connecticut PTSA at 6 Connolly Parkway, Building 12, Suite 103 in Hamden, Connecticut, 06514. A federal judge this week blocked Wisconsin's Chippewa bands from hunting deer at night for what's left of the tribal season. U.S. District Judge Barbara Crabb wrote in her order that the tribes overstepped the authority when they granted tribal hunters permission to kill deer at night without the state's approval. The judge said the move violated a ruling she made more than 20 years ago that requires the Chippewa and the state to negotiate changes to tribal hunting rules and get her approval before making them final. She encouraged both sides to reach a deal. State Department of Natural Resources Secretary Kathy Stepp issued a statement saying the state was pleased with Crabb's ruling and the agency will continue to work with the tribes. Crabb made a series of rulings in the 1970s confirming the tribes can exercise those rights as they see fit, as long as they don't endanger the state's conservation efforts or public safety. Crabb acknowledged the tribes raised legitimate questions about the fairness of allowing state hunters to go after wolves at night but not letting tribal hunters to kill deer after dark. But she said even if the tribes believe the DNR is acting unreasonably, they're not entitled to take unilateral action. Are you adoptee? Have you ever been in foster care? Somebody needs your help. Courts, service providers, and the public do not know enough about how adoption and foster care affected the individuals who experience them, and they're trying to make a change. First Nations Repatriation Institute and Adoptees Have Answers have partnered with the University of Minnesota to develop an anonymous survey to gather the story of U.S.-born adults who were adopted or spent at least 6 months total in foster care. They hope you will share your stories so that others, professionals, family members, and the general public may better understand how adoption and foster care shapes the lives of those most directly involved. You can find more information about that survey at the URL we place below or contacting wearecoming.home.com or the First Nations Repatriation Institute. And that's going to be another roundup of news from Indian Country on this edition of the Native News Update. We want to say miigwech for joining with us and come back again soon.